We're here in the THP Tech Studio with an introduction today to Callaway's X-Forge CB iron. It's a stunning product in hand, lots of tech going into this one, but unlike most cases where the tech's a little bit hidden, in this case it's very much in our face. We have tungsten weighting that's MIM design, so that means it's designed specifically to support things like swing weighting and CG placement in the center of the face. This is a very interesting design from an iron of this shape and size, because normally it's a one-piece product. In this case, they actually have multiple elements going in to introduce the benefits that you would want to have between consistency in swing weighting, CG placement, and again, that kind of player control we're looking for in a small package like this. So what we're going to do today is hit a few shots and talk about the results we have and whether or not that tech performance is in there based on what we see on the outside. And we're here in the hitting bay. As I mentioned, here in the tech studio, we're gonna hit some shots, and while we watch the flight in progress, we'll superimpose for you that experience, and we'll talk through some of the results I'm seeing. Well, straight out of the gate, really good result from a accuracy perspective, as it almost goes in. What's interesting about that is it was a little thick, a little fat for me. I like to be a little bit more crisp. Looking at the numbers overall, we've got 177 yards of carry. This is a 7 iron we're playing in today. 5,400 RPMs of backspin. Some pretty good ball speed at 124. Nothing jumping out at me aggressively, but I think number-wise, what's interesting to me here, we'll probably talk about this again after the second shot, is the shaft that they've opted to pair as a stock offering. Let's hit another. Much cleaner for me. Might hang it a little bit to the right, not a problem. Again, the shaft here is a Project X IO, brand new shaft. A lot of people are talking about this. Very, very challenging shaft, very unique shaft for their design. I think from a player profile standpoint, this is an exceptional pairing and a wonderful job by Callaway to introduce it in this way. We're looking at a peak height of 46. The last one was 43. Typically, I'm seeing a little bit of a higher peak height than some more of the casual or more basic designs out there, even with the distance performance, launch performance irons. So that's a good strike for me, maybe a bit of a pull. But again, back on the height, you would expect a player profile. I'm assuming these are a little bit weaker lofted than some of those distance designed irons. And yet we're seeing some more boring lower flight, which I think is a very positive thing. We're looking at a total yards of 190, but carries 186. I like that almost 130 mile an hour ball speed. And again, we're seeing very, very consistent peak heights here. We'll hit again. What I'm noticing here is, while I do have a little bit of variance in my swing this morning, there is a nice bit of consistency. We've got a green set up at 180 yards, and I'm not leaving the green, even though I feel like somewhere a little bit, maybe on the heel, on the toe, a little fat. Nothing to say I'm like extremely precisioned today, but I'm seeing that even in a size like this, as long as you're close to that sweet spot with the swing you're trying to achieve, you can still have that nice bit of control. So let's try and work one a little bit in our last shot and see what we can do. And there we go. That confirms exactly what I hope for. In a profile like this for Callaway's X-Forge CB, you definitely want a little bit of workability. We also saw that I went after that a bit with a closed face, seeing some big numbers. I really like that. That confirms a lot of what I was thinking at the forefront, is that this is a small package that will allow players to work the ball as much as they want. Let's do one more, even though we were supposed to do 5. Let's try and hit a little fade and just make sure that this product's going to allow us to perform either way for those guys out there who do like to get creative with their shots. and a little slight fade. This is a little bit more than, yeah, there we go. Sliding a bit right of the green. This is exactly what we want to see in a package like this. There's a lot of straight line distance. The profile itself for me, I'm really impressed by. They did a mild carbon 1025 steel for the body itself. I'm really impressed with the tungsten weighting in the back. Every time I hit one really flush, that is probably has a lot to do with the amount of material they have behind the face, and I love that. So we have an opportunity here to take a look at the data on a table view and talk through some of the shots I had. We did mention right out of the gate that my first shot was a little bit fat. The player profile like this, you can come to expect that the distance will be the biggest casualty there. What's funny to me is the offline, the club actually stayed very controlled through the zone, so we didn't have to worry about accuracy because, as you can see, it nearly went in the hole. Moving into my next 3 shots, that's where the consistency really showed up for Callaway's new X-Forged CB iron. This is the bread and butter, I think, of what we're trying to achieve from a performance standpoint. The distances are within 3 yards of each other. The peak height's identical. The launch is nearly the same. Spin's very close, dependent on whether I was left or right of the hole. Obviously, right means a little bit more spin, left means a little bit less. Moving into spin itself, we actually have a very good video on THP TV right now representing the benefits of getting dialed in with your preferred golf ball. I would encourage you to take a look at that if you are concerned that you're seeing some lower backspin here. In this case, I've actually found a ball that reduces my spin dramatically, and that is a benefit for me here with peak heights of nearly 50 yards. I definitely want something that spins less, and this product actually allows me to play a club like Callaway's X-Forged CB and benefit from the accuracy and performance perspective of that without dealing with too much overspin. Moving into the last 2 shots, I think this is a really fun element that I wasn't expecting to put into the video. This is representing the ability to work the ball. Now, as you can see, I went after that second to last shot and got 188 yards of carry out of it with an aggressive draw. I think people who are looking for this kind of product will definitely want that ability to turn the ball over or leave the ball with a little bit of a fade, and you can see that performance here, both in the draw and my second to last shot on command, and my final shot being a little bit of a fade, adds a bit of spin there as you would expect, and comes up a little bit shorter. So this is a nice performance perspective. We move quickly over to a different visual. You can see the very first 4 shots are right tight in the middle, and then as I hit the draw and the fade, you did see some dispersion there. So overall, a wonderful perspective, a great performing iron, and I can't say enough from the feedback in the hands, both from a sound quality and the performance out of the Project X IO shaft that they've decided to pair with this product.